As we look into 2022, what are the kind of key risks that we should be looking out for? In our mind, there's three. First of all is the Federal Reserve and other central banks, but mainly the Federal Reserve. Have they made a policy misstep, or will they make a policy misstep? The first question is, in the Federal Reserve throughout most of 2021, they were saying that inflation was transitory. And now in the last Federal Reserve meeting, Chairman Powell said, we should forget this word transitory. So should they have been tightening a lot quicker than they had been over the past year? So now the expectation is you'll see a very quick kind of pullback in terms of liquidity. So tapering would end by March of 2022, and interest rates could rise quickly from June onwards. So the key is that a policy mistake? Should we have done this tightening a little bit quicker? Will we be too quick to increase interest rates? And that's one of the problems that we're finding at the moment. Because if you look at the bond yields, the 2-year and the 10-year, it's a very small gap. It's about 60, 70 bips, which means that if your short-term interest rates rise because interest rates are rising, you could have that inversion in terms of inverted yield curve, where 2-year is higher, which normally leads to recession if you look over the past history. So that's one of the risks I think markets are going to grapple with, is has the Federal Reserve, other central banks been too slow with inflation or tackling inflation over the past year? The second risk is obviously to do with COVID. I mean, we came into 2021, I think optimism very high with a new vaccine. But throughout the year, we've had those kind of stops and starts. We've had the Delta variant, which is very bad for everybody. And now we have Omicron, which, seems to us that it's more transmissible, but, not leading to hospitalization. So that's the good news. But the question is there new variants coming in 2022, which again could have that stop and start for global economies, reopening of the of travel and so forth. So that's the second risk. I think the third risk is geopolitical. I think we're seeing that Russia is on the border of Ukraine. Will they invade? Will they do something? We don't know. If they did, does that lead China to look at Taiwan a little bit more closely in terms of their intentions? We've already seen them take over Hong Kong. So these geopolitical risks, I don't think markets are really taking into account, but I think it's something we have to watch out for.